Hi, so I am Amy with Meridian Title. I'm their title abstractor. And if you don't know, Adrienne Remedies is my mom and also the owner of Meridian Title. And we're just going to sit with her today and ask a few questions that inquiring minds want to know about the title industry, maybe some questions that come to mind for, um, buyers or real estate agents, questions that we hear often in the industry. Okay, so can you give us a little bit of background? Just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the business.
Yes, I started out in the mortgage industry. My father was a realtor and got me a job at a mortgage company. And I ended up moving into the title end of the business, worked for a lot of great attorneys. But a few years ago, I decided that I wanted to have a more fulfilling work experience to handle the business as I wanted to and to hire the employees I wanted to have, which happened to be my family. So I do have all my daughters that work for me in different capacities. I have a granddaughter that helps out ordering payoffs and checking taxes. So it is a very fulfilling work experience for us. And I think we provide a good business for our clients.
Right, that's exactly the word I was thinking of is fulfilling, how fulfilling it is to be able to do this industry, this job that you love, and also have your family with you. That's
Yes,
wonderful.
exactly.
So, Meridian Title, let's talk about that a little bit. Where did that name come from?
Well, when I was trying to figure out a name for Meridian Title, I was looking for names that had to do with real estate first, with the title business. Well, Meridian is a line that runs north and south like longitude. And then, Amy, you live in Arkansas. I've considered opening a title business in Arkansas since at the time I opened Meridian Title, I lived in Plain Dealing, which is very close to the Arkansas line.
Sure.
So Meridian just seemed to work at the time.
Awesome. Do you have plans to expand into Arkansas anytime?
You never know.
So you mentioned that you worked with a lot of great attorneys throughout your career in the title industry. Meridian Title, of course, has an attorney. Who is that? Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Yes, our attorney is Lake Hearn. He's been in the real estate industry for about 40 years. I worked with him previously for about 16 years. And when I opened up Meridian Title, I wanted him to come join it with me. He has a vast knowledge in all types of real estate issues. He also does successions and wills. Um, he's very helpful with us when we have title issues. He's really easy to come to and figures out how to get the closing done for us.
Awesome. That's wonderful. And it's great that y'all have worked together in the past because you have that rapport. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
wonderful. So I can say from also having experience in the mortgage side of this business, which is kind of the front end of purchasing a home for a home buyer. A lot of times home buyers, even if they're not a first time home buyer, maybe this is their fifth home, but they haven't moved in, 10 years. And so the role of the title company is kind of, mysterious. What do you say? What would you say to a first time home buyer or any home buyer about what the title company's role is in the process of getting them into their new home?
Okay, just in brief on that, we check the title to the property to make sure if there are any liens, judgments, errors in the deeds previously filed of record. We make sure all of that is good. If we do find a title issue, we do what we need to do to get it corrected, either get other parties to sign corrected deeds, get successions completed, anything that's needed to be done. Once the title is clear and we know everything is good, we'll go ahead and get the closing set up. We will prepare the closing documents, call the buyers and sellers, realtors, lenders, get everybody in for closing. They'll sign the paperwork. We'll get the deed recorded at the courthouse. We also collect all the money for the closing and disperse it to the seller and pay off any liens or any mortgages that are on the property.
Okay. So when you say that you check the title to the property, what does that entail?
Well, we go to the courthouse records And we go back at least 40 years, checking to make sure all the transactions were done properly and the proper party signed with notaries and witnesses as required by Louisiana law.
Okay, okay. That's so 40 years, that's kind of the standard search period for a transaction.
Yes. Now we go back farther if we aren't confident with the starting deed. We want to make sure we're at a good cash sale warranty deed as our beginning deed. So if it's a succession or a donation or anything like that, we'll keep going back. We've even had to go back to the 1800s at some points to get a good starting deed.
I can attest to that. So, the other parts of this that you mentioned were the money. So, a lot of people's money are coming from financing through a mortgage lender. So, you are kind of the go-between with the mortgage lender and the home buyer.
Right. We put all the money in a non-interest bearing escrow account and we hold it there until closing and then we disperse it per the settlement statement. So everything that's going to be paid out to anybody is shown on that settlement statement that the buyer and the seller both sign.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, thanks for that little breakdown. I'm sure that's helpful.
You're welcome.